Kia ora, everybody. First of all, I want to mihi to those of our people who've been in struggle for years, for generations, against racism, sexism, and the military, call it what you like. You know, that they use all of these things. They weren't satisfied with just filling the blankets that they gave to our tupuna with germs and bugs and then putting the blankets on our tupuna so that they would die quickly. All of those things they've used, and we're still here. And so are the Indigenous people. And I want to recall people like Soli from Hawaii, who kept that flame going, who kept us informed here in Aotearoa about what was happening. And I traveled a lot to Hawaii and to different parts of the Pacific in relation to the nuclear issue. And, you know, I think we need to call it what it is. It's an issue of murder, mass murder. That's what it is. And it's no use for me trying to dress it up and say, oh, well, you know, it's got this nice scientific name. No, it doesn't. It's an opportunity for them to mass murder in the Pacific because they want a hold on the Pacific. What has brought about this? Is it because China has become involved in the Pacific and is spreading its sour buds and things all over the place? You know, what's brought this about? Because as I listen to people talking, I think, wow, what was all that sacrifice? What was all that work about when we fought so hard against the nuclear issue and to stop them testing their nuclear weapons in United States? They would load their guns there and shoot them into the Pacific, and then they would measure how much more they would have to, more power they would have to put behind that particular bomb to make it go further. And in the top of the Pacific there, the Marianas and that, we saw the women having jelly babies, and who cared about that? Nobody. But when we were asked to go there, I tell you, it was a shocking revelation of man's cruelty to men, to other humans. It was shocking. And I have to say that listening to all the speakers tonight, yeah, we've been there, done that, and lost so many of our people in the struggle. But I'm so pleased to hear that others have stepped up to the mark and said, we have got to speak up. We have got to shout out. You know, it's no use us having little quiet little meetings. No, we have got to stand up as a nation. You know, we are First Nation people. Don't ever forget that. Aotearoa is Māori land. Wherever you are from, it belongs to your tupuna, no one else. And it's important for us now to start getting out and calling our people, letting them know exactly what's happening. It doesn't matter whether you support National or Labour or whatever political party. The fact of the matter is that if there's a dollar for the government to use for something else, then they're going to support it. they don't care where the dollar comes from or what sacrifice people have made to allow that dollar to come through. So are we safe in Aotearoa? No, we're not. Are we safe in the Pacific? No, we're not. The safety comes from our unity as First Nation people. It doesn't come from policies put out by different governments or by different whoever thinks that they can run the line and pretend they represent Indigenous people. They don't. They're crooked, they're thieves, they're murderers, they're all those things. And we have to stand up again. We did it once. No, it's not just once. In the early 70s, you know, this kōrero was around then. And I remember Matt Rutter, our Maori MP, going into the Pacific to stop the nuclear testing and all the fears of our people and their families and that. And he said, it's got to be done. We have to be there. We have to let them know that the Maori Nation does not support this. And, you know, it doesn't take a lot of people to be united and to have a strong voice, but don't allow it to be dressed up in some scientific name or scientific whatever study. Don't allow that to happen, because that's how they draw our young ones into it, you know, by allowing them to participate, and you'll get a scholarship if you do this and that. But at the end of it, they're teaching our kids how to murder other people. And I'm so grateful that I'm still here to hear that strong Pacific voice say enough is enough. We've been here, done that, and we're not going to allow this to happen. So kia kaha to everybody. And, you know, takes a lot of women sometimes to make changes in the world. I've seen that happen for myself in England when we went up there to upset the British and their participation in the Green and Common. In the end, it doesn't matter what they call it. In the end, it was about their power and their ability and their money and all of those things combined to overturn even the things that the courts have ruled that is out of order, or the government has said this is not to happen. Once these people are filled with that sort of power, they're not going to listen. They're not. And so we have to be prepared for the long haul, because it is a long haul. It is a lifelong haul. My gosh, I never thought for 1 minute that what we were doing in the early 70s, right through to now, I never ever thought that I would be listening to that same mamai, that same kōrero, and that same pretend that, you know, we're wearing Indigenous gear and korowai and even speaking your language, for goodness sake. What more do you want, First Nation people? What more do you want? And so it's all of those things that have arisen in our school education and the way in which our kids are taught, not openly, but by suggestion and things like that. So, kia kaha to everybody. I'm pleased to be here. And, yeah, love you, and kia ora to your whānau. And I hope that this issue keeps all our whānau safe, because if it doesn't, it means, you know, a mass murder of First Nation people. Don't allow them to use scientific names. No, it doesn't matter what it is. That's what they want. They want control and power. And they know that the First Nation people, they own the land, they own the resources, they own the water, the air, the sea, all the bushes, everything, as well as our wairua. Our wairua belongs to us. We can share it with everybody else, but that's the one kaupapa that they would like to be able to control, is the strength of First Nation people's wairua. So, kia kaha everybody, and I'm pleased to be a part of this kōrero.
Tēnā koe, mai kore ake ko koe whaia, e te māreikura e Titewhai, me o kōrero, ko tākoha ki Wainganui a tātou i tēnei po e mihi ana. E kore ngā mihi e mutu nā te kaha o tō whawhai, me o hoa me tō whānau. No reira, tēnā koe.